What if everything you've lost, every failure you've buried, every door that slammed in your face, was never working against you? What if it was building you? Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will completely rewire how you see every hard thing that's ever happened to you. We've been sold a lie our entire lives. The lie is that success is the goal, that winning is the destination, that the people who are ahead of you got there because things went right for them. But here's the psychological truth that nobody puts in a motivational post. Success makes you stupid. When everything is going well, when your project is praised, your business is growing, people are calling you a genius, something quietly happens inside you. You stop being hungry. You stop questioning yourself. The people around you stop giving you honest feedback because nobody challenges a winner. And then your next move fails, spectacularly. Not because you got unlucky, because comfort made you blind. Now here's where it gets darker and more interesting. The problem isn't just external failure. The deeper issue is what's happening inside you before any of it even starts. Because your attitude, the lens you carry into every room, every conversation, every decision, isn't just a reaction to the world, it's creating your world. Think about this. You walk into a room feeling defensive, guarded. You haven't said a word, but the people in that room already feel something shift. They pull back, they get colder. And then, because most people have zero self-awareness, you look around and think, why is everyone being weird? You don't realize that you created it. Your internal state went out into the room before you did. And every time you focus on what went wrong, the person who betrayed you, the system that's rigged, the opportunity that never came, you're adding a layer. And each layer makes the next one easier to build. Until you've constructed this massive wall of defensive energy around yourself that doesn't protect you, it imprisons you. But flip that lens and nothing can stop you, and I mean nothing. Now I want to tell you about the most powerful man in the world, who destroyed himself the moment he stopped losing. Napoleon Bonaparte. From 1796 to 1806, 10 years, Napoleon had the most astonishing military run in recorded history. Battle after battle, victory after victory. He was so dominant that he eventually crowned himself Emperor of France. And then came the collapse. 8 years of catastrophic, humiliating defeat, ending in exile, ending in erasure. What happened? It all went to his head. He lost the very thing that made him great, the hunger, the adaptability, the willingness to challenge his own assumptions. Success made him conservative. It made him want to protect what he'd built instead of continuing to evolve. And here's the psychological principle buried in Napoleon's story that applies directly to your life. The world doesn't reward conservation. It rewards evolution. Failure teaches you your actual limits. It shows you what you missed, what you were too proud to see, what you assumed without questioning. It strips away the arrogance and leaves you with something far more valuable than confidence. It leaves you with clarity. And clarity, real, hard-earned clarity, is what the most dangerous people in any room actually have. So, the next time something falls apart on you, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask what Napoleon never asked himself at the height of his power. What is this trying to show me? But knowing failure is valuable is one thing. Actually surviving it in the moment, that's different. Because when you're inside it, it doesn't feel like a lesson. It feels like a verdict. So here's what you actually do when everything goes wrong. The first move is the one nobody wants to make, because it feels like you're minimizing your pain. But it's not minimization, it's perspective. Ask yourself, could this have been worse? Not to dismiss what happened, but because your brain in crisis mode does something very specific. It catastrophizes. It takes the current moment and projects it forward as the permanent reality. Like this is just how things are now. But is it actually as bad as it feels? You lost the deal, but you still have your reputation. The relationship ended, but you still have your health. The project failed publicly, but you're still standing. And as long as you have your body and your mind, you can recover from anything, even public humiliation, because people have short memories. They will always remember your last success far more clearly than your worst failure. Here's the second move, and this one separates people who grow from people who just survive. Extract the lesson, not the blame. Most people spend weeks after a failure figuring out who's responsible, who wronged them, who didn't show up. And that process feels productive, it feels like analysis, but it's just pain dressed up as thinking. The real question is, what did you miss? What assumption turned out to be wrong? What would you do differently if you ran this back tomorrow? If it's a breakup, was this actually the right person? Were you partially responsible for how it ended? What do you need to understand about yourself before the next relationship? The lesson is always there. Most people are too busy being the victim to find it. And the third move, this one is pure psychology. Project yourself 2 years forward. Right now, inside the painful moment, everything feels enormous, consuming, like it defines you. But think about a failure from 2 years ago. How big does it feel now? Smaller, almost unrecognizable. Time gives perspective. And if you can borrow that perspective right now, if you can ask, how will I see this 2 years from now? You short-circuit the spiral before it pulls you under. Future-oriented people don't get stuck. They acknowledge what happened, extract what's useful, and move. Next project, next chapter, next version of themselves. Now here's where most people, especially in their 20s, make the mistake that quietly costs them everything. They optimize for the wrong things. Followers, immediate income, the appearance of success before they've actually built anything real. And social media has made this worse, because now you can perform success without ever actually achieving it. You can have the aesthetic without the substance. But here's what that costs you long term. When you spend your formative years chasing metrics instead of mastery, you hit a ceiling. And it comes earlier than you expect, because attention is borrowed, skills are owned. Real, lasting success comes from purpose, not the word, the actual thing. The specific pull you feel towards something that connects to who you've always been. The thing you'd pursue even if nobody was watching and nobody was paying you. When you find that, and you commit to building skill around it instead of building an audience around it, the dynamic shifts completely. But even then, even when you've found your purpose and you're doing the work, there's a trap that takes down even the most talented people. Trying too hard. When you're desperately attached to the outcome, when every move is loaded with anxiety about whether it's working, you broadcast that tension. The work feels it. The people around you feel it. Creativity shuts down under that kind of pressure. The greatest ideas don't come when you're white-knuckling the process. They come when you step back, when you breathe, when you trust that the answer will surface if you stop strangling it. Let go of the outcome. Stay locked onto the purpose. The work will find its way. There's a concept from the 1800s, written by the poet John Keats, that Robert Greene considers one of the most psychologically powerful tools available to anyone who creates, leads, or builds anything. Keats called it negative capability, and most people have never heard of it. But once you understand it, you'll see it everywhere. Here's what it means. When most people face a problem, they immediately reach for the familiar. Option A, what they've always done. Option B, what they saw someone else do. Option C, the safe, predictable path. They've already decided the answer before they've actually sat with the question. And that assumption, that invisible certainty, is what keeps most people locked in the same patterns year after year. Negative capability is the ability to not know, to sit with uncertainty without immediately grabbing for the nearest exit, to stay open, genuinely open, long enough to consider options D, E, F, and G. To ask, what would someone I completely disagree with try here? What's the approach I've always dismissed that might actually be the answer? What would my biggest competitor do that I haven't even considered? that discomfort of not knowing. That's not weakness. That's where the breakthroughs live. And this is especially critical as you get older and more experienced, because success narrows you. You start to believe you already know the right way. And that certainty, that quiet confidence in your own method, is where creativity goes to die. The most powerful people stay permanently open, permanently curious, permanently willing to discover they were wrong. Last piece, and this one is pure dark psychology. We judge by appearance. All of us. We pick up energy, presence, body language before a single word is spoken. We don't like to admit that, but it is deeply, biologically true.
And here's the danger in that. If you let other people define who you are, if you let their perception of you harden into a label, that label becomes a cage. Their opinion of you starts to constrain what you're actually capable of, because eventually you begin to believe it too. The most powerful people in history understood something that most people never act on. Your image is not something that happens to you, it's something you build. David Bowie reinvented himself completely every 5 or 6 years, not because he was confused about who he was, but because he understood that identity is fluid, and fluidity is power. Every reinvention made the world lean in harder. Who is he going to become next? Pablo Picasso did the same, constantly evolving, never letting success or public expectation calcify him into one fixed thing. You don't have to be a rock star to apply this. You are always, whether you realize it or not, presenting a version of yourself to the world. The question isn't whether you're playing a role. The question is whether you're playing it consciously. Take control of that process. Make it deliberate. Understand that reinvention isn't dishonesty. It's one of the most sophisticated power moves available to you. The people who let the world define them get pinned down. The people who define themselves keep evolving. And evolving people, they're impossible to predict, impossible to dismiss, impossible to stop. So, let's land this. Your attitude isn't passive, it's a broadcast, and the world responds to whatever frequency you're putting out. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the entry point to it. Purpose beats attention, every time, in every era, no exception. Negative capability, the willingness to sit with not knowing, is what keeps the sharpest minds from going stale. And your identity? Your image? That's not something the world assigns you. That's something you build, deliberately, relentlessly, like the greatest work of art you'll ever make. The people who truly understand these principles don't just survive the hard moments. They use them. They feed on them. They come out the other side sharper, clearer, and more dangerous than before. That's not motivation, that's psychology. And now, you know it. The next video goes even deeper into why the most psychologically powerful people in any room all share one specific trait that has nothing to do with intelligence, looks, or money. Watch it next.